Onto the Triumph Street Triple 675 with all the bodywork off, set up for the street, new for 08. The front forks unfortunately have zero adjustability whatsoever, so you're stuck at this point in perhaps changing springs and oil, but without tearing them apart and getting in there to see what there is. I'm not really sure. In the back, all we have is preload as adjustability, so obviously at some point, provided the forks are the same, you could put surrogate forks into this from the 675 and also a 675 shock. If that bolts in, then you've got pretty cheap upgrades and the bike's fully adjustable, and that will make it a lot better of a ride. So let's get to measuring and see what we got. All right, with Dave on the bike at 180 pounds, we're using the end of the axle here and going to the top of the heel guard. So we're at 50 millimeters of sag in the back at 180 pounds. So that's a little bit much. You may be able to change the spring tension to bring it back into line at 40, but at this point, that seems awfully soft on the spring, so you may want to change the spring. And as we discussed earlier, you may want to even see if the stock shock from a 675 bolts in. Onto the forks, well, they're extremely soft as well. So at this point, almost half the travel's gone at 180 pounds. So see if the 675 forks bolt in, the wheel's no doubt the same, and then you've got a completely adjustable bike again. Such a shame for a street bike like this, you'd think they keep the same componentry, but to get the price point where it is, we end up with these suspension components. Now with Chris on the bike at 240 pounds, yikes. We're at 60 millimeters of sag, so if you're 220 or over, this bike is unsafe to ride in its showroom condition. You would definitely want to change out that rear shock spring and get something that's appropriate for your weight. Now, as we've discussed in the past, when the back of the bike is so soft, it will extend the front forks and make a sag reading really not that appropriate. But with it, given the way the bike's sitting right now, the sag number in the front is a little bit less than Dave at 180 pounds, but the back of the bike's completely collapsed. So clearly 220 pounds plus, you have a very unsafe motorcycle off the showroom floor, so you have to make the upgrades. On to the Svelte Lisa at 140 pounds. .38 millimeters of sag, so the back of the bike's on the money. So 120 to probably 150 pounds, the back of the bike works perfectly. In terms of the front, that's pretty much right on the money for street use. So here's your target market. The good thing is the springs are balanced front to back. So 120 to 150 pounds all is well. We got a winner. Box it up.